Welcome to MarcusG.TV. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is raising your child. What kind of diet is safe for your child? You know, this whole thing in Italy on possible jail time for feeding your child a vegan diet has gotten massive press. A lot of people are writing about this. I did a YouTube video on it when it first broke. Basically, a lawmaker in Italy is saying that if you're going to put your child on a vegan diet and if your child has health problems, you're going to face jail time. You're going to face 3 years in jail, 4 years in jail by putting your child on an unsafe diet. This lawmaker is claiming that your child needs animal products in its in their diet to become healthy. And if you're not going to do it, then yes, jail time is in your future. So I just want to talk about my experience with my children and experience with food, the food industry. Since I am a professional chef, I've been a professional chef for over 20 years. I've seen a lot of different types of food. I've seen a lot of people feed their children. I see that people feed their children on a daily basis at my restaurant. I also run a camp kitchen, a girls' horseback riding camp kitchen. I've been running it for 12 years. So I see girls from the ages of 7 to 17. For the last 12 years, I've seen their dietary habits. I've seen what they're eating. I've seen what they're used to eating. So here's my take on this. You can raise a child extremely healthy on a vegan diet, on a plant-based diet. There's plenty of ways to get all the nutrients, the vitamins, the protein that you need through a plant-based diet. After all, that's where the animals that you're eating get all their nutrients from. They are eating from a plant-based diet. The beef, the chicken, all that. Now here's what's happening with mass agriculture or mass livestock. These cattle, we had mad cow disease. Mad cow disease was a serious issue. We were taking animal byproducts and turning these animals into carnivores. We were giving them all sorts of animal byproducts in their food. They were saying this was causing mad cow disease. So they stopped trying to do that in a lot of places. There's still places that you can legally feed chickens like blood meal, pork blood meal, and you can still feed salmon, like pig byproducts and stuff. So the whole way that whole industry has gone is a mass array of profit and insanity, literally insanity. The way that we feed our animals, the way we raise our food, the way we do everything is just total insanity. It's all about corporate profits. So the big push is saying, well, let's eat more real beef. Let's eat beef that's grass-fed. Let's eat beef that's on a vegetarian diet, because we know there's problems with turning a vegetarian animal into a carnivore. Well, basically, when you look at a human, we have all of the aspects of a vegetarian animal. We don't have fangs. We don't have retractable claws. We sweat. We don't pant. The way our intestines are. Everything about us. Just, you can list down 20 points of how the human body is built, designed, evolved on a vegetarian diet. Now, that's totally different than the way we practice. We practice a omnivore diet, and that's because we've become accustomed to tools, whether it's a gun, whether it's a knife, whether it's walking into a grocery store and buying a piece of meat. That's what we've become accustomed to. But even on a true Paleolithic diet, meat was so far in between. The more common things were bugs and worms, things you can pick up under a rock, lots and lots of different starches, things you could pick and eat with your hands. If you look at our species and our evolution all together, meat was a very small part of our diet, if it was part of our diet to a certain degree in certain cultures. There's a lot of cultures out there that are still vegetarian and or vegan that basically only eat that or have a very small part. Now, Dr. Mercola, who prescribes the Weston Price Foundation. Weston Price was a dentist who went around and researched all these primitive cultures in the 30s and said, you know, these people are strong men and they're warriors and look at their diet and this and that and they're eating meat. So Dr. Mercola has prescribed to eating meat, the meat-based diet for years. But what you don't know about Dr. Mercola a lot of times is that he was a marathon runner. He was very active. He was, in his previous, he was on a very high carbohydrate diet. And to this day, now he admits now that meat is such a very, very, very small portion of his diet. Maybe 3-4 ounces, maybe one piece of meat a week is what he's saying that he eats. And I've seen articles where he says that. So for people to think that you have to survive on meat every single day, that's totally wrong. So there's so many things that I want to that I can say and put into this video. Here's the biggest thing. I see the way kids eat. The way kids eat is atrocious. What parents do to kids is child abuse. Giving kids white flour, white pasta, sugary drinks, mac and cheese, and then cake, and then cookies, and all these snack foods. Parents, that is child abuse. Not teaching your kids to eat whole, real foods. That's the way to go. Not doing that is child abuse. Teaching your kids to have a big chocolate cake on their first birthday and celebrate is brainwashing your child now to think for the rest of its life celebrations mean eating bad food. Celebrations mean eating crap. It means destroying your body. It means on your 21st birthday going out and getting drunk off your ass. This is the way society and parents have forced us into our culture. So this lawmaker in Italy is totally attacking this all wrong. Most Americans, most people are just are approaching your children's nutrition totally wrong. It's about taking the time to cook food, to educate yourself, to educate your children. Whether you're going to give your child a piece of meat or stick to an all vegan diet, make sure that you don't have all that other junk fillers and crap, and don't cut corners and say, oh, let's just go to McDonald's today. Going to McDonald's is child abuse, in my opinion. The food there is crap. You're being a lazy parent by not planning. If you know, I'm on the road, I'm on a road trip, I'm going here, I'm going there, you know you're driving somewhere, put bananas in the car, make a sandwich, make a quinoa salad, make a kale salad. Teach your kids that kale is acceptable. I see so many kids that are like totally disgusted by the fact of eating vegetables. They're turned off, they're disgusted, and they make these vocal sounds and these vocal disbeliefs about vegetables in front of their parents, and their parents do nothing about it. I see it in my restaurant, I see it at the camp that I run, I see it all over the place. Kids say, that's disgusting, that's nasty, this, that's. The parents are just like, he just wants some white pasta. Can we just get some white pasta with butter for my kid? Really? Parents, that is child abuse. You've taught your children, you're setting your children up for a very young age to fail at nutrition. So all of a sudden, at the age of 25 years old or 16 years old or 35 years old, I was 28 at the time, where all of a sudden I said, this isn't food. And my parents, my mother cooked, we had good food at home, but we still went to McDonald's. We still did things. We still had Little Debbie Hostess snack cakes. We still bought Girl Scout cookies. We still did all that kind of stuff. Sure, my mom made food, but she still made a lot of crap food too. But we gardened, she cooked. So I kind of like had a sort of understanding of what real food should be. And being a chef, I was cooking food, and I was seeing all the chemicals and the preservatives and the mass manufactured food that was coming to the kitchens I was cooking. I'm like, this isn't real food. And so the wheels started turning inside. And all of a sudden at 28, I said, enough is enough. I'm not eating this food anymore. And all of a sudden, my family, my in-laws, everybody thought that I was some kind of weird person because I didn't want to eat the food that they've been eating for all their lives, that they've been serving us. I didn't want that anymore. And all of a sudden, now I'm the outcast. So now you've raised me my whole life to eat chocolate cake, cookies, to celebrate, to eat sugar, to all this, and so you've set me up for failure, and now all of a sudden I'm at a point where I want to not revolt, I want to make a change, but now you're appearing to me as that I'm revolting, that I'm totally revolting against this and against that, and I'm the weirdo. So you've set me up for a double-edged sword to feed me crap, and then now I'm a lunatic for revolting against what I've been taught just because I want to make myself a better person. And that's what we've set our kids up to do. And a lot of kids will never get to the point where they get the aha moment and say, I need to eat better food, whether they're 25, 35, 45. So when you go to the doctor, you should get a nutrition course, and you don't. Because nutrition, to the pharmaceutical companies who influence the doctors, I just read on Natural News the other day that one of the doctors refused to take one of the exams or this or that because he didn't want to sit in there for 7 hours and recite off all the drugs. It's all the pharmaceutical companies are the ones who dictate what the doctors do. So there's no part about nutrition. Your doctor doesn't get a nutrition degree, doesn't get nutrition courses. If they do, it's very, very limited. So, but what should happen is you should sit down, and there is a doctor that does this, Dr. Schachter, Dr. Michael Schachter. He's in Suffern, New York. He's a medical doctor. He was the past president, or maybe is still the president, of the Drugless Practitioner Society. I took my daughter to him when she was 6 because she had Lyme disease, and I said, I trust this guy. I've read his books. I've heard his interviews. I've seen what he does. He does not cover insurance. He is a medical doctor. It's $1,000 a visit. I said, that's worth it for my daughter. We'll take her there. What they do is they sit you down for a full hour and do a whole nutrition course on you. And yes, it's pushing a plant-based diet. They're pushing a plant-based diet. They have nutritionists, they have dietitians there that sit down with you and talk to you about the effects of food on your body. When you go to your regular doctor, he might say, oh, stop eating this, stop eating that. He doesn't sit there and sit you down and say, this is what your food is doing to you. This is what your food's doing to your kids, to your family, to the environment, to this and that. They don't do that enough to shock you. So Dr. Schachter, they do that. A special person sits down with you. They go over all the nutrition, this and this and this and that. And it's great. Then you sit down with Dr. Schachter in his office, and it's a fantastic experience. Amazing experience. I wish that more doctors would have that type of experience when you go there and educate you and teach you and just show you what the reality is of all the damage that you're doing to your body, that you're doing to your child's body, and this and that. So, child abuse. Vegan diet? Not at all. Uneducated parent? That's child abuse. You need to educate yourself. You need to read. There's a vast amount of information out there. But here's the one thing. This thing is common sense, parents. Common sense, 100% common sense. Cake is crap. Cookies are crap. Processed food is crap. Okay? Eat an apple. Eat real foods. Real foods are where to learn how to cook. Cook brown rice. Cook whole wheat grains. Get whole wheat bread. This whole thing is a lot of common sense, but it's just out of laziness that parents do what they do, and they teach their kids. And the first day you give your kids pasta with butter is not the last day that's going to happen. That's going to set up a response, an addictive response to the kids, because you have fat and you have sugar, you have white. The way our bodies crave things and the way food manufacturers know this is you give your kids this stuff once and they're hooked on it. So giving your kids pasta and butter one time is setting your kids up for disaster. Make them real foods. Let them understand. My daughter was a year old and we were giving her quinoa and kale and broccoli and all these other things that are real foods. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel. I can just go on and on and on this topic. If you have any questions, leave some comments below and I'll be happy to answer them.